So recently, we went to go see a movie which has gotten a lot of hype and a lot of criticism in the media lately. A movie which, while there's other movies in the cinema getting nominated for Oscars and people are acclaiming they are the best movie of 2023, we went off and we saw something a little different, something a little bit exciting, something a little bit, engaging.
Something with action, something that's not some boring Oscar-worthy masterpiece. No, we're not watching that.
Uh,
We're watching
we're
FNAF,
watching
baby.
we're watching something you can really sink your teeth into, something you can really like lock your jaw onto.
Yeah.
We went ahead and we watched Five Nights at Freddy's.
Let's go.
Five Nights at Freddy's, folks. Yes, the popular video game made famous through YouTube content creators looking for a quick jump scare and a quick couple million views. Yes, that game.
It's actually
The
kind
game
of
where you can't move around other than clicking on the cameras,
yeah.
checking the doors, and flicking the lights. That game. We watched
It is
a
scary.
90-minute
It is
movie.
scary how you think about it. How that thing has evolved into like a big movie that's come out. Like that's kind of terrifying, though.
I think we give people not a debrief on the FNAF history,
No,
but
no.
a debrief on how the game could actually come up with such an intricate plot.
Yeah. I think
And
people forget how fucked the FNAF story is. How creepy and uncomfortable it is. How it deals with child abduction, children's being taken away and killed and trapped in these animatronic coffins. Like, it's actually nightmare fuel when you think about it, And
it's
yeah,
it's disgusting, and it's funny because it all came from the mind of one man, Scott Cawthon, and this actually came from Scott Cawthon. He was trying to create a kids game. He's trying to create like a kids game where you play as like bears and like animals, as in like the animatronics, and people dogged them for it on the internet. They fucking dogged him, saying the animation looks shit, they look creepy, they look weird. Why is like the bear fucking dancing in a weird way or some shit? So Scott Cawthon decided, you know what? Fuck these kids. And he made an entire saga. That's the best way to describe it. It's not a collection of games.
It's an
It's
epic.
a saga.
It's an epic, basically.
It's an epic tale of loss, of bereavement, of psychoanalysis, of killers, of I don't know, deranged, grotesque creatures which live off the souls of dead children. Like it's fucking wild, and it's the craziest thing is the FNAF lore. For anyone who doesn't know, isn't really established in the game. Like if you play the games for the base value of them,
You won't really get it. You won't get it in the slightest.
you won't understand the actual true complexities of it. Like you only until you get like to the 7th or 8th FNAF game, that's when you finally start to piece it together. Like even the games where you move around in the recent, I shall call them like the recent trilogy, where you can actually move around, you can immerse with things. That's when the games finally got plot driven. But even still, you don't actually know anything about the characters. All you know is that they're possessed, and that's about it. I think that's the beauty behind it because it leaves a lot up to interpretation, just like this movie.
Yeah.
This movie, folks, I would consider an interpretation of the FNAF series.
Yeah, it's definitely not a translation. It's not like they're just taking the game and going, this, you just shove it in. There's definitely, you can take parts. It takes parts from the modern FNAF, like, some plots there, but obviously it incorporates the core of, like, the FNAF 1, FNAF 2, FNAF 3. And I think that's very important, that it's not just, they're not just shoving a plot in and going, alright, we're going to make this work. They actually just instead adapt it, like, properly. Which is nice to see because we've seen way too many video game movies that have been just shoved in. And that's why the plot
Shoved in and not used correctly, and it's caused a lot of like disdain among fans. You know, it's a lot of like hatred among fans for video game movies because they're afraid the franchises they love are going to be soiled.
Yeah, and like think about like your parents or your grandparents or your friends that don't play games, and if you tell them, oh, I like Assassin's Creed or Uncharted, and then they're like, isn't that like that stupid movie where like they have Mark Wahlberg playing, or Assassin's Creed, isn't that the one with the mental asylum and they're walking around like the people just think you're stupid for watching that. You know what I mean? If that represents,
Or better yet, they
something
think
you
they're like you're stupid for playing
yeah,
these games.
they think you're a clown because you like things. When that completely misrepresents it. Well, I feel like this movie completely shows FNAF for what it is. Apart from the scariness, I will say that much.
I feel like we'll get into that
Yeah.
in like our improvements for the
Yeah.
movie in a bit. But I think first, I don't think there's any point, folks, in going through like a plot dissection
No.
or going through art like that. I don't really think there's much point in it because the movie is very cut and dry.
Yeah.
It's a very cut and dry movie. It's a 90-minute experience rather than a movie. Like it follows the FNAF storyline. It deviates in its own way when it wants to.
It has its own
To
character.
create,
Well,
it has its own characters. But it also plucks characters from multiple games. Like,
Yeah.
but everything they do in the movie makes sense. Good twists, good turns in the movie as well.
Surprisingly good turns.
Surprisingly good turns.
Yeah.
Like turns which I did not
The
expect.
turns
Because,
which like one happens I'd say like 30%, like I'd say 20%, like a fifth into the movie, or maybe a quarter, and you're like, oh damn, like it puts the movie on its head. You know what I mean? Like a certain character that you thought is gonna be some random side character, a very important character, and that's actually connected to the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria.
like,
I do want to say that the movie does look good. Like the animatronics, they do look a bit fucked, but also like they look good at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't look cheap,
oh no, the suits definitely do not look cheap.
but they do look crude, if you know what I mean. Like they should.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to judge the suits, to be honest, because I expected. Like I hate to say
You
it.
expected like Nightmare Freddy.
No, not Nightmare Freddy. No, Nightmare Freddy's a little bit too much. I expected more.
A
like,
bit more rundown.
yeah, they didn't really go into the rundown aspect for me, and I didn't like. I approved of it, but I didn't approve of it. If you get me, it looked like Freddy's just kind of like closed for the weekend, and the dolls were there, like the animatronics were there fucking dancing. Like they looked brand spanking new. I kind of. You have to remember.
Well, I'm looking at it.
folks,
Yeah, they don't look that one, but they also don't look brand new. Let's not. They don't. I'm looking
They
at
don't.
it.
Oh,
Right.
fine. They don't look brand new, but they look fucking. They look like new enough. Like they don't look like they have fucking children rotting inside them. They do they?
Yes.
I feel like it would have made the movie a lot creepier if they looked fucking run down, or if they had like a few stains on them or something. You know.
Yeah, they're definitely not as run down as the original FNAF, like what the show.
But you have to remember. You have to remember the whole reason they don't look run down
Anyway, they're maintained.
is because they're maintained.
So I guess it makes sense in that way. Like it's not like they have been left there for years. Like they are being maintained. It's not like it's different from that. It's continuous. Like there are multiple security guards that go missing. And they're well-oiled machines. And
It's crazy.
I do want to mention that this just guess the budget of this movie.
I actually think it was a cheap movie. I'm gonna say the budget was around 40 mil.
It was 20 mil.
How much did it make?
289 million.
Fuck.
There's a FNAF 2 coming, baby. There's a FNAF 2 coming.
What a surplus. They literally 10 times their profit.
Yeah.
Man. They 10 times the.
He's smashed it.
That's for the quality of this movie, folks. A 20 million budget is dirt cheap. Like
Very little.
20 million people are like, what? 20 million? Like, what? No, folks. 20 million for this movie is dirt cheap. Considering we've seen movies which are fucking
I'll
dog.
tell you right now. So I haven't seen it. I assume it's a really good movie. Killers of the Flower Moon. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese, big movie, yeah. That movie only earned 139 million, and the budget, which is a western, by the way. I don't know how many effects or stuff they have in this. I assume it's practical, but I doubt they have like Oppenheimer stuff going on. It was 200 million budget.
Oh my God, it flopped.
So it flopped bad.
It flopped.
It cost 10 times more than FNAF and made 150 less. It flopped badly.
Flopped. That's so weird.
The film will need to, I'm reading it right now. Film will need to gross 500 to 600 million to break even.
Jesus
It
Christ.
flopped so badly.
That is wild. I genuinely thought that movie did well.
No, because no one knows. Like, do you think our parents are going to see this?
Man, a Scorsese Leo movie, I thought people would have been like,
that means nothing. No one knows it came out. Bro. You ask anyone in the street, Killers of the Flower Moon, they're gonna look at you like you have two heads. If you tell them Oppenheimer, obviously like the whole Barbenheimer thing couldn't have been accounted for, but still the marketing for Oppenheimer was class. Like without the whole Barbie situation,
the marketing for Oppenheimer was insane.
People were talking about Oppenheimer like years ago, like random people. I was in work, and random people before the movie even was close to coming out, being like, "Oh yeah, Oppenheimer looks good," you know. And like these people know, like these people, you just they wouldn't know about Killers of the Flower Moon, but they know about Oppenheimer. Even though this is months before it's coming out, months before the Barbenheimer epidemic. And the show is like FNAF. Everyone knew FNAF's coming out. Everyone in the math knew FNAF's coming out.
Everyone. You see, FNAF suffers from success in this situation because FNAF is seen as a meme movie. It's actually riding off what I'd like to consider the Emoji Movie success.
Yeah.
If you remember the hype around the Emoji Movie for it going to be bad, like people were like, the Emoji Movie's going to be awful, the Emoji Movie's going to be shit. Actually, it made a profit, I think. I think it made a decent profit.
It made 200 million and the budget was 50.
There you go, man. It literally, well, what's that? It's not triple, quadrupled its profit. It quadrupled its profit. But that's because people were memeing on it so much, saying, "Oh my God, Emoji Movie? That's such a funny meme. You're gonna go see the Emoji Movie?"
It's the Morbius effect.
The Morbin time. Yeah, that's probably even better example.
Everyone to see Morbius, but no one would have seen Morbius. It's like, see.
If Morbius,
no, it's like. I'll tell you right now. Have you seen Madame Web?
No. I've seen the ads, but
no one's gonna watch Madame Web because it's not even funny to meme on it. Like, it's not even funny to Morbius. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just funny for Morbius because Jared Leto.
Yeah, because Jared Leto.
Morbin time.
Yeah, and Matt Smith like dancing and Tyrese Gibson. It's such a meme cast. And like,
I think it's because nobody ever took the Morbius movie seriously.
Yeah,
nobody ever thought to themselves, Morbin time.
Well, Madame Web looks awful, and I think obviously we're gonna watch that, but I don't think anyone's gonna watch this. So I don't think anyone in their mind is gonna watch this. We have to watch all the.
See, Morbius was such an experience because nobody took it seriously. That was the whole fun
so
behind it.
People clapping in the movie.
People, woo, Morb.
Alright, let's get back on track. So, I think one thing we have to praise is the actual acting. With the main three characters being Mike. I don't remember the other guys' names. I'm trying to find it. I deleted my.
Wait, you're thinking of Mike. You're thinking of the sister Abby.
Yeah, but and Vanessa.
Vanessa.
The two main characters.
Yeah, other characters.
Well, no, those are the two main characters.
Yeah, those are
William Afton's acting was fine. Well, Josh Hutcherson really clutched up as Mike.
He clutched. He did. The clutch.
Movie based on he is in movies you have main characters and then you have main characters. It's his movie. He's basically in every scene.
Well, he is the security guard. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Well,
He
like,
is the main guy.
But that's the point. Well, like if he was iffy, the movie collapses. Like even if he was alright, the movie would be worse. But he was really good. Like his whole backstory, I was really invested in. His his brother being kidnapped and him like re-seeing that. And at the start, I was like, I didn't get it. I was like, why is he like wanting to see it? I thought it was a bit stupid. But then he reveals that he's like taking the drugs. He's looking at the photo because he's trying to go. Like he's trying to. He's convinced that he saw who stole his brother, and he's convinced that he can like relive the dream and then like save him. I think that's so fucked. And I love that. I think it's so sad. And he has the broken look, do you know what I mean? Like he just looks like he's just been he's gone through it.
Yeah.
He's got like the puppy dog eyes and like the ruffled hair and the grown out like shabby beard. And
he looks rough, to be fair. He looks rough.
I love like the almost heavy rain opening where he tackles the kid. He tackles the guy who he
tackles the guy. He tackles the guy.
And he beats up a father because he thought the father stole his child. Because the father the father just like hurried this kid away. And it was a bit stern. And if fucking Mike absolutely well pounding him. And obviously,
yeah, really showed Mike had that dog on him.
Oh yeah, he did.
Bang. I forgot about that actually. He absolutely weighs into your man. He weighs into him.
And then you have Vanessa, who you see her show up and you're like, oh, whatever. But then she starts mentioning she does exposition dumping, and you just think, oh, she's the police officer who will just tell you like what you need to know about the story. But then it's like, you in your mind, we both thought this, like, she knows too much. I wish we looked at each other and said,
yeah,
she knows too much. And I was thinking, oh, like this movie, like I was thinking this is bad because like they've written it so that she knows too much. But then it's an actual plot point where it's like, now Mike is thinking, wait, you know too much. How do you know so much? And there's a huge twist for her. And that was like, damn, that's really good. I didn't expect this from this movie, do you know what I mean? Like, I thought she was just dumping exposition and they were being lazy and blah, blah, blah. But no, there's like a reason she knows all this. There's a reason she knows everything about Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. And same with Abby. Like, you think Abby's just neurotic, child who's a bit just lonely child, imaginary friends, blah 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 with the aunt, whatever bullshit. Imaginary friends, and like Mike is a bit angry, whatever. And then you notice that her imaginary friends are the kids that are locked in the animatronics, and she can commune with them. Like that's
and has been communing with them for a while before Freddy's was crazy to me. That was a what the fuck.
Yeah.
That was a what the fuck for me. Like the biggest, like what they consider the biggest twist with William Afton being like the career guidance fella. That really wasn't a twist for me. I already kind of was like, oh, that's him. The biggest twists were the ones you'd least expect.
Oh yeah.
Nearly shit like that. When I saw that, I was like, what the fuck?
like that's when you realize this movie is getting serious. Like holy shit. And this is like, I'd say this is a third in or 25% in. Because when he first takes her, it's like, what? Like, he's like, oh, it's so good. Like, genuinely very impressed with that. I think this is important because, like, it hits these story beats, and all of a sudden, this movie's good. All of a sudden, all the thoughts you have of it, like, all these things that you thought were stupid, it actually makes so much sense. And it's not like they leave it to the end. They don't. So, you don't feel like they've pulled the rug on you. Do you know what I mean? It feels natural. Like they show it to you, and then they reveal it. So so I think it was really good, like, genuinely. And the William Afton reveal at the end, like we all knew was coming, and it kind of had to be him because it would have been weird if they just showed some random person who was William Afton.
Yeah, they kept the cast very small, and for good reason well, because they wanted people to be immersed in the story itself. It's a very, I'm not gonna say it's a hard story to get into, but it's a very fucking. What do you call it?
You have to like get in the right mindset. I do agree.
It's a very linear plot,
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of hard to introduce more characters and try to do more.
Let's compare this, to talk to me. Well, there's a billion characters. There's like the friend.
There's too many characters.
Like, way
For a
too
linear
many.
plot, there's too many
For a
characters.
horror movie, there's like 20 billion characters. And so you don't care when one of them dies because it's like, oh, this is just the other bloke. Well, here, when Abby's in danger, you're like, oh my god, like, are they just gonna put her into the doll maker, their sister, whatever she's called?
Baby.
Yeah, baby. Make it a baby. Make the baby the baby.
Make it a baby. You see, it was all very hard, and I say it was hard for true hardcore FNAF fans. If there is true hardcore FNAF fans in the comments anywhere, let us know how you felt with the movie. But I feel like even hardcore FNAF fans would have enjoyed the twists of this movie.
Definitely.
Like, I won't go too much into the games because I'm not an expert.
No.
I've played a couple rounds of FNAF, but I haven't played too much to know everything. I've watched a bit too much Mappa.
Yeah, you get confused because some of the theories contradict themselves, and if you've been following it for too long, it actually makes it worse. It's better if you only tune into the recent stuff, because if you've been there for the whole ride, then you remember the theories that were actually disproven. You know.
Yeah, Mapat's had a lot of disproven theories, but that's just because Scott Cotton. Like, I don't know if he plans to do this, but he's an amazing writer, if so, because he constantly finds ways to naggle with the story so that more information is added, but it leaves you with more mystery.
Oh yeah.
For the games, at least.
Yeah.
Even for the movie itself, the movie leaves you with a lot of questions.
Oh yeah, very much so.
It leaves you with a lot, like, what do Freddy and the gang do now?
Mm-hmm. Like, the kids, are they still alive, or have
have they passed on? Like William Afton.
Like, he was getting tortured at the end, right? Like, he was twitching. Like, the suit was still like. You know.
I think that's the suit, like, a customizing to him dying. You know, I think that's like. Remember I was telling you about, like, the remnant, like, soul.
I watched all that. Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, like the suit is just he could live on in the suit, but will he know who he is, or will he not?
That's the question. Yeah, is he actually gonna know he's Springtrap? But that's the power of the pictures, though.
Yeah.
The pictures show him killing the kids.
Yeah, but she scribbled out that.
No, she scribbled out them holding hands.
Oh no, she did show him killing the kids, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she showed him killing the kids.
So I think that she could manifest.
So it was like draw a picture, showed him the truth, and she drew a picture and put it up on the board of him in the yellow bunny suit killing the kids, and that's why they all turned on him.
So I think she could manifest that indirectly.
I think what will happen is Springtrap he's definitely going to come back.
Yeah, he's important.
But he's going to come back, and my guess is we've already seen the animatronics leave Freddy's.
Yeah, we know that, which I like. I like it a lot.
I like that as well. It means they're not confined to one area.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to move off to a sister location, they could.
Yeah.
Like, me personally speaking, I could see, I don't know, maybe. So in the games, there's a character who is a partner of William Afton's. Not a partner, but like a partner in the business.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, his inventor partner.
Yeah, his inventor partner called Henry Emily.
Yeah.
Which in the games is supposed to be.
I hate that his last name is Emily. I hate that.
Emily is an awful second.
So confusing.
Bear in mind, in the games, his second name is never actually told. It's just Henry. So Emily is the name of his daughter.
Oh.
Or was it Elizabeth was his daughter?
I don't know. I know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
Henry Emily makes the place to try and gather all the robots to kill him.
my guess was that Henry sets up a new place.
Yeah.
He sets up a new place, and it is the sister location. And he sets up all these new animatronics, and he doesn't realize it. Or maybe a twist in the movie, Springtrap is controlling him to make new animatronics and to kill more kids. And that's how we get new possessed animatronics.
Yeah. See, are we gonna start going into like Michael Afton is actually an animatronic himself?
Oh, with Mike and all that.
You know the way Mike's is like he actually becomes an animatronic and he's walking down the street as you said and he's like, you know.
So he's actually taken over. I feel like, remember I was telling you about the memes where they're like talking about like the Skibidi toilets and all that on the podcast? That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
It feels like one of them conversations. But I'll explain it anyway. I'll explain it. So basically, Michael Afton, you find out, is the
he dies.
he's
He
actually,
dies.
like,
He dies, but then he gets put in an animatronic.
No. So what happens is, it's almost like the opposite of that. He doesn't die.
Well, no, he doesn't die.
Animatronic is put inside him.
Yeah.
It wears his skin.
Yeah.
He gets scooped.
Yeah, same thing though. It's like
Fella gets scooped in FNAF 4.
He thinks he's real, but he's not.
Yeah.
But he is at the same time.
See, I'll give you this one now. I'll give you an interesting one. In the FNAF books, they've already talked about lifelike animatronics.
Oh.
So these are animatronics which Henry makes. Henry Emily. He makes them in order to replace the death of his daughter. So he creates these lifelike animatronics which genuinely believe they are real, and it follows all of her like stages from going from like a baby to a full-on teenage girl and then a young adult. So you have like her as a baby animatronic. No, it's her as like, so a baby as in like, I mean like 5 or 6, you know. Then her as like a 10 or 12-year-old, then her as a 14, 15-year-old, then her as like a 16 to 19-year-old, and that's where we start off in the books with this one character, and she genuinely doesn't realize she's an animatronic.
Yeah. Oh my god. I remember this. I watched this when it came out. When it came out, I watched Matt Pat's thing about this. Yeah.
And basically they were talking about how, oh my god, Freddy's is haunted. Oh my god, we're gonna die. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And she realizes then that she's a fucking animatronic.
Freddy.
I think she gets stabbed or something.
I don't remember.
And she looks down, she realizes she wasn't bleeding. She wasn't doing art like that. My guess is, for this new sister location movie.
They could go. I'll just throw this. They could go back to the past. We could do a FNAF prequel.
Oh. The games go into, actually the books, I should say, the books and the games go into prequels a lot.
I know the whole history where like they had the bears and then William Afton like loved the bears and then like they could do Henry and Emily in the past. That's why like, and maybe Henry dies in the movie, so that's why he's not in the second movie. Like he's not in the first one. Like they could do a prequel with William Afton and Henry, you know. They can do a lot. There's a lot they can do with FNAF. They can go in many ways.
No, there's a lot they can do with FNAF. There's a lot they can do. Like, there's so much content out there. It's actually insane. And that's what I'm saying, folks. If you just played the games alone for base value, you wouldn't get the story. No. You'd think it's just a jump scare game. Genuinely, you probably think the game's like alright, but it's not great. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I played this.
Mobile game quality wise.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you think it's a mobile game. I'm telling you now, folks, the story behind this game is actually intense.
Oh, it's terrifying. Because, like, as I mentioned before, the kids are, they're powerless. What can you do to the kids? Like, they can't help themselves. They can't stop themselves. And if an adult catches them, what can they do against the adult?
That's why I'm interested to see the sister location. Because sister location is based around, I don't know whether it's William or Henry's family. It's based around a family in any way. And they actually mention, like, they show a bit of Ballora. And Ballora is supposed to be Baby's mother. In the games itself. So Ballora is supposed to be like his wife who died tragically. And like they show all the different characters and all that. Like, if we're gonna make a prediction for this right now, like just a base prediction, not like wacky theory time, I would say new sister location is set up with the help of Freddy and the gang they'll set up a new sister location, not realizing that Springtrap is still a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Deaths are going to be happening in the area, are going to be happening at this new sister location. Either like Freddy and the gang are going to set it up as a means for like the kids to like, I don't know, live on or something, or a new sister location will pop
what they
up.
did in Security Breach, which I read the theories. Well, this is Matt Pat's like recent theory where it's William Afton, his wife, that she sets up, because you never know who their manager Security Breach is, like who set up the new FNAF, knew everything. That's the whole mystery. But it's all hinted towards it being William Afton's wife, that she did it like she was basically tortured by William Afton, just kind of like by everything. And after the start, she basically William Afton was a bit of a, like, he wasn't a good businessman, you know what I mean? And she makes Security Breach, which is like more fancy, everything looks better. But over time, she slowly like succumbs to what he succumbed to, you know what I mean? Being a psychopath, I guess, I don't know. I don't remember the TV exactly, I watched it like 2 weeks ago. But they couldn't do that. Because that is the recent game. And it has Vanessa in it as well, let's not forget.
Vanessa's a completely different character in the...
I know, but you know.
Could still be interesting.
Yeah,
right, overall,
it's
improvements for the movie we have here now. Improvements. You haven't talked about improvements which need to be made.
Scariness. And the movie was not scary.
Oh, the movie had no jump scares, folks.
We had the doll, the guy in the cap.
Yeah,
it was capping. It wasn't good.
It had, for a jump scare game, FNAF is a jump scare game. For a jump scare game, I had no fucking jump scares at all. I know people are going to be like, oh my god, FNAF isn't like a scary game or not. Like, the whole point of it is that it's a jump scare game.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be scary. But it's still like, it's quiet. You look around, bang, loud noise.
Yeah, or like, I just... And then you're like, oh no. The night has started. Oh no. Like, FNAF can be a scary game. Like, all the jump scares, like, especially, like...
Yeah, for kids as well.
So... I feel like... I don't know. It's not a scary movie. It's a good movie. It's not a scary movie. The animatronics look a little bit too... Freddy fun time.
I mean,
and not enough actually creepy. They don't look creepy. The only one who actually looks creepy is Foxy.
Yeah, no, Foxy's the only one. They can get a lot more destroyed though after it all came down, you know.
They could have like, I don't know.
Oh, they can do Nightmare Freddy with man. Imagine this here. Abby grows up and she has nightmares about Freddy Fazbear.
Are you thinking of FNAF 3 here?
I don't remember. There's too many FNAF.
Or FNAF. Oh no, sorry. FNAF 4.
It's FNAF 4. Well, not
FNAF
well, like.
4,
but keep in mind, they're not going to directly fans like this. They'll just take certain parts because they won't just grab FNAF 4 and shove it in. We know that. So they'll take certain parts of it and it'll be Nightmare Freddy-esque. So she'll have nightmares about, because she was in FNAF and they were her friends. But like she's getting nightmares because they're back, you know, like they're back in real life. And she's like, they're like giving them the nightmares because they're back. Do you know what I mean? They're in close proximity or something. Or like, let's say she's like 15 or 16, and they reopened Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria, and she's like, oh my god, when I was like 10, or when I was 6, this was, you know, this is where my friends were. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's hard to piece it together, man. Like I'm actually trying to piece this shit together in my head.
Like, no, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be a direct translation. We know that. Because this game, like, as you said, this is Vanessa. Vanessa is in fucking Security Breach. She's a completely different character.
It's hard to piece together what they're gonna do with a sequel but I think that's also good though.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily want to be able to read the movie
Oh god, no.
or know exactly how they're gonna pull it. It's not like a Marvel movie. It's not like a superhero movie where you know what they have to do in order to get to the next movie. No, you don't know if they're gonna make a second movie. They could be happy with the profit and just leave it. They will make a second movie, but like they don't need to. And I'm happy with that. I'm content with that, you know. But like we said, there are improvements to be made. No jump scares. The animatronics look a little bit too childish.
Yeah, I mean, look, I personally my favorite animatronics are the Nightmare Freddy's.
From the games, yeah, I prefer the Nightmare Freddy's from the
They
games.
actually look terrifying. Like, even looking at them now, they look terrifying.
The Nightmare Freddy's, or if you are going, like,
I mean, they can do FNAF 3.
Kiddie with-
They can do FNAF 3.
if you are doing kiddie, FNAF 3 is like horror FNAF, yeah, so they could definitely work with that.
They got Springtrap. They got the puppet guy.
Oh yeah, the puppet. I was thinking more Ultimate Custom Night, Toy Chica, Toy Freddy. They're actually terrifying, man. They're terrifying.
I don't even like that.
But you ever see them when like the eyes are blacked out on the fifth night? They are weird looking.
I don't think they're that weird looking.
Like I thought the movie was good. Genuinely, I thought the movie was
It
very
was
good.
a fun, good movie.
A 90-minute movie, folks. A short, sweet movie. 90 minutes, that's perfect. You cannot complain.
Well, it was an hour and 50, but
Hour 50, was it?
yeah.
But like 10 minutes for credits.
Hour 40. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Actually had to do me like that, huh?
Fucking fingers on lips.
Hour 40 Phil. 5 later. Freddy's. Like I think that's fair enough. I think that's fair enough.
Alright, so what are we giving the movie then? Comparing it to good adaptations such as Dungeons and Dragons, average adaptations such as Warcraft, awful adaptations such as Uncharted. What are we?
Fucking Uncharted, bro. Fucking Uncharted.
That's what I'm saying. What are we giving it? What are we giving it?
Video game adaptations get a lot of stick in the media, folks. They get a lot of disdain, like I said at the start.
The Hitman movies, they're awful.
Yeah, no,
They were so bad.
it's hard to say, but the shit movies. Uncharted, fucking dog movie. Fucking Assassin's Creed, what the fuck?
No,
Gran Turismo, I haven't even seen it. Fuck that movie, bro. It looks so fucking bad.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot of video game movies out there which are absolute dirt. This, folks, is not one of them.
No.
I think it's because they're not afraid to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, they don't just copy and paste it, but they also stay true to the material. It's a fine line.
They stay true to the fans,
It's a fine line.
but change it enough so that it has a new creative output on it, so that it's able to tell its own story in its own way. It uses the characters' faces, but it fleshes them out more than the games ever have or ever will. I think that's what a lot of movie adaptations are terrified of doing, because they're terrified of leaving viewers with a bad taste in their mouth. But you will give people a bad taste in your mouth if you just do nothing instead. I think Five Nights at Freddy's, for as long as it was in production and development and all that, which has been like 8 years, by the way. 8 years they've been planning this movie. I think they did a very, very good job.
Great job, yeah.
For a budget of 50 mil,
20 mil.
20 mil? That's even better, man. That's even better.
Well, it was 20 mil from the start. I never said different.
Yeah, no, I forgot. I think I was thinking of Morb or something.
Morb had more. More like 75.
Hey, yo.
Morb had CGI though.
It did, to be fair. FNAF had Jim Henson costumes. And they look good. Don't get me wrong. They look good, but they didn't look spooky. You know, I need more spooky. I need to look at them and be like, these are fucking bad guys.
Oh, they made more than Dungeons and Dragons. No. Like smoke D&D. Yeah, D&D was no. I don't think it was profitable. But anyway,
D&D.
What do you give this movie?
I would give this movie in general 8.2.
8.2. Jeez. I'll give it an 8.
Actually, no.
I'll give it an 8. It doesn't.
8.2 is a bit harsh.
8.8.
I give it an 8.5. 8.5 is good. Yeah, 8.5. 8.5 is good.
That's great, bro. 7 is good. 8.5, 8 is great. 9 is phenomenal. 10 is the best. How can it be an 8.5?
Man, I genuinely like this movie.
I really like the movie, but I don't think it's higher than an 8.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking back on it. Like the jump scares and the costumes are the only things we can
let's
actually
not
knock about
forget
this
when we
movie.
left, and I was saying this is a good movie. You were saying, "Now hold up, let's not rush to conclusions." You're the one telling
Yeah,
me.
maybe I'm looking back on this movie with the rose tinted glasses after talking about it. But I have to say, there's only 2 knockoffs I can think it. Like the only 2 improvements I could make to this movie is add more jump scares.
Yeah, but see, the problem is my problem. The start is bad. The opening wasn't
Oh,
good. The opening
the
was not
start.
good.
Oh yeah,
The
actually, the
opening was
start
ass.
was
The opening was ass.
yeah.
With the guy going,
start-
and that guy dying. No.
Forgot about that. Fine then. You convinced me to give this movie a 7.5 out of 10.
7.4.
7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I think you're right there.
Because it's not a great movie. You wouldn't. This is not a great movie. You maybe would see it again, but you wouldn't actively be like, "Oh, this is the shit right here, right now."
Yeah, fair enough. I get this movie a 7.5 out of 10.
And now
I think you're right. 8.5 is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I forgot about the opening half. I was just thinking about the theories, about the acting. I was thinking about like a few little things. Like, all right, this movie was actually good. Yeah, the fucking first 20 minutes, I was bored.
Yeah, it's boring at the start because it doesn't seem great until the first reveals. Until like the first couple of reveals, it's fairly boring. I'm not gonna lie.
But I would, 7.5 seems accurate. You're going 7.5?
Yeah. Now, real talk. Just last thing. This year we saw many movies, and we'll have to do a whole culmination in December. Well, we saw another video game movie this year, which is D&D. And which one is better?
D&D.
Yeah, D&D is better.
Done.
D&D is
Done.
better. Yeah.
Folks, if you haven't seen Dungeons and Dragons, I would highly suggest it, as I think it is the funnest movie of 2023. I'm going to lay that out on the carpet right now. It is the funnest movie of 2023. It is a fun, lighthearted, family-friendly movie.
Mission Impossible 7. Mission Impossible 7 is a really fucking fun movie.
Yeah, but Mission Impossible is a great movie.
It's fun as well. You can't say it's not fun.
It's a fun movie. It's not as fun as D&D. I'm not gonna lie, it's not as fun as D&D.
Yeah,
but it's a better movie.
D&D is a ride. D&D is just a hell of a ride, to be honest.
Yeah, D&D, I believe, is a funner movie. Like it's like, a fun movie is like a genuinely light-hearted. You know, it's like if it's fun. It's good-hearted fun.
What about Across the Spider-Verse? Is that not fun?
It wasn't as fun.
No, it was actually darker than Into the Spider-Verse. Less fun. I prefer Into the Spider-Verse, personally.
I prefer Into the Spider-Verse as well. Across the Spider-Verse was good, but I prefer Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. I thought Into the Spider-Verse was a fun movie.
Into the Spider-Verse, I can't even think of any flaws. Apart from 1 or 2. Across the Spider-Verse, I had certain issues with it. Well, anyway, D&D still best, still most fun movie of the year, and I'd love to see our standings at the end of this year. Because it's crazy. And
December, folks, we're gonna do a whole 2023 catch up.
Like,
a whole sum up.
There's some movies we need to see. Like we need to see Killers of the Flower Moon. We need to see
Napoleon. Napoleon's out this week.
Exactly. Napoleon as well. We need to get on these movies.
Napoleon is out, folks.
And like,
that'll probably be the next one.
Yeah. I heard
maybe a Gen V.
I heard some historical inaccuracies, and I heard some weird things from Ridley Scott. Apparently, I read an article that kind of pissed me off, and where Ridley Scott basically was criticised for having Napoleon. Napoleon goes to Egypt, you know, this isn't a spoiler. He goes to Egypt early on in his life, and he's very successful there. And apparently in the movie, he shoots cannons at the pyramids. And when asked why did he do that, because Napoleon didn't do that in real life, because you can look in the pyramids and you can see there's no fucking cannon holes in them. He said, I thought it was fun. It doesn't matter what's real. And he said, the French people don't even like themselves, so why would I make it real? Something like that. I know it will affect the movie, but it does leave a bit of a bitter taste in my mouth.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sour taste, to be honest. If they're not following it, like... That's not great.
I still assume it'll be a good movie, but that's I highly doubt the whole movie like that. But my point is I love Napoleon historically, and I forgot a lot of stuff, and I don't want it to just show fake shit. You know what I mean?
Oh no, nobody wants to show fake. Like,
I don't want it to show like a battle that wasn't close in the slightest, but they make it close. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I don't think it will do that, but now I'm kind of afraid that they might do that. Do you know what I mean? Because now I don't know. Well, anyway.
Like, I don't know much about the Napoleon story. Like I don't know I don't know much. I knew more going into Oppenheimer than I did going into.
Oh, I know a lot about Napoleon. I basically know his entire thing. It's really good. Again, I think it canons that the pyramid is. I think it's fine. I just think him reacting that way is a bit weird. He could have just been like, "Oh, I did it," you know, just for the fun of it to like make him more theatrical. But he had to be a bit freaking pedantic and arrogant about it.
Ridley Scott's a bit of an arrogant fella, to be fair. So you know, and that's
Yeah, I mean,
bit up the hoopla. You know what I'm saying? Bit up the old. Whoop.
I mean, makes a fucking banger movies though.
I made so look. Artists are, you know, contorted in their own way.
Gladiator,
Some
Blade Runner 2049, The Martian, The Last Duel, Alien, Robin Hood 2010, Exodus, Gods of Kings. God, those two movies are awful. Hannibal. Well, that's the second movie. That on the River Nile. Jesus, why has he made so many stinkers? Anyway, I think with that we can call it.
Yep. I'd like to thank you all once again for listening in. Fun pod today, folks. It was nice to talk about FNAF. Coming into the new Christmas season, coming into the now, 'tis the season to be jolly kind of situation, and I think this is confirmed now, folks. I think I got a pretty good idea for a podcast.
What?
And I hope y'all stay tuned. Because this, if I can actually get this together, it's going to be a certified banger. Let me tell you that much. A certified banger. Thank you and goodbye.